What the fuck?
What?
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know, I'm sorry.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know, can we sleep?
Obsession. Who is this movie really about? At first, I thought I knew the answer. The girl. But halfway through the movie, I realized something uncomfortable. I wasn't watching the story I thought I was watching, because the real obsession wasn't hers. It was his. Right from the beginning, this movie caught me completely off guard. The scene with Bear's dead cat actually made me cry. I wasn't planning to cry. I thought I was watching a romantic horror movie, right? Well, things didn't exactly go according to my plan.
Sandy? No.
That opening scene immediately told me a lot about Bear. First of all, he's clearly a very sensitive and emotional person. He's also incredibly shy. I mean, he's literally rehearsing his love confession with his best friend before talking to Nikki. My first thought was that he'd probably never had much experience with girls, or maybe not at all. Then comes the moment where romance is finally about to happen, and Bear completely misses his chance.
Do you like me?
What?
Because if you do, now's the time to tell me.
I think we're good friends.
Okay.
Right there. That was the perfect moment to tell her how he felt. Honestly, there were only two possible outcomes. Either she liked him back or she didn't, and he'd end up in the friend zone. And yeah, both outcomes would have been honest, without manipulation and pressure, just two people finding out whether their feelings matched. Instead, the movie takes a completely different turn. A magical one-wish willow literally forces Nikki to fall in love with Bear.
I wish Nikki Freeman loved me more than anyone in the fucking world.
And honestly, as someone who's already watched a ridiculous number of horror movies, I thought that was a genuinely interesting twist. At that point, though, I still had absolutely no idea how this was going to turn into an actual nightmare. One thing I absolutely loved the next 90 minutes was in the Navarrete's performance as Nikki. The way she switched between completely different emotional states was incredibly convincing.
Why don't you love me?
Nikki! Nikki, where are you? What are you doing? What do you want me to do?
For Sandy, okay?
Out of curiosity, I looked her up afterward, and I was surprised to find out she's still pretty early in her career. She's young and doesn't have an enormous filmography yet, but despite that, her facial expressions, her strange little mannerisms, and those sudden emotional shifts were so believable that they became genuinely terrifying.
I love you in every reality, Bear.
Thrill me! What the fuck? Nikki, stop!
Oh my God!
Stop, please! Nikki, you're scaring me!
Don't be scared, baby. Don't be scared. I would never hurt you. I'm sorry.
Stop! Nikki, you're scaring me!
There were several horror moments in this movie that honestly got under my skin. My hands actually went cold watching them. The first one, those completely unexpected screaming outbursts.
Stay!
I mean, I was watching this movie late at night. Cut me some slack. The second moment was the door covered in tape. Even before anything happened, I could tell from the look on Bear's face that something horrifying was about to behind the door.
So, we're good?
We're good. We're good. I wish I was scheduled today. Love you.
Love you.
That scene was seriously creepy. But the moment that surprised me the most was actually the phone call revealing what had really happened to the real Nikki.
Where she's like, freaks out.
Do you want to talk to her?
Mamma mia. That one hit me hard, I'm telling you guys. Overall, I'd say this is a horror movie first and foremost. There are so many scenes that make you want to pull the blanket over your head. I'm sure you have your own favorites too. What I also appreciated was how the director kept weaving humor into the story.
I'm so sorry. I had a bad dream and I just...
You what?
How's this?
Not great.
Those lighter moments make you relax just enough to believe you are watching a quirky romantic story before the movie reminds you that something is terribly, terribly wrong. But before we talk about those terrible things, let's first talk about romance. Didn't you think that romance was too strange? You know, I actually remember what it feels like to be insecure and hesitant in a relationship, to be exactly like Bear. Back when I was like that, the smallest strange thing from someone I liked could scare me off. And one awkward moment, one weird comment, and I'd immediately want to go home. Which is why Nikki's behavior completely confused me. The moment the one wish willow breaks and the evil spirit possesses her, she starts acting strange. I mean, really strange. She suddenly insists on coming over to Bear's house and she doesn't take no for an answer. She's pushy, she refuses to back off. Honestly, if I were Bear, I'd already be halfway home. But for some reason, he doesn't leave. Instead, he takes her with him and brings her home. Then comes what the movie presents as the romantic part of their relationship. Let's just assume that somehow Bear still hasn't noticed anything unusual. Fine. Even though incredibly obvious red flags keep appearing, he seems to think, nope, I'm just going to ignore all of that. My girlfriend is way too beautiful for me to worry about little details.
I don't think I could live without you. No, don't do that! I thought we were having a nice day!
And somehow, even after that, his romantic mood doesn't change. Okay, as the story goes on, we slowly realize something else. Bear barely knows Nikki at all. He thinks everything between them is perfect, but he doesn't even know what kind of relationship she has with her father. It almost feels like they have never had a real conversation about anything beyond romance. Now we understand why Nikki isn't asking meaningful questions. Because technically, that isn't Nikki anymore. It's a demon pretending to be Nikki. But what about Bear?
Nikki. What are you doing?
Watching you sleep. You're so cute when you sleep.
Can you come back to bed?
No.
Why isn't he curious? Why doesn't he ask about her life, her family, her past? Or is spending time with a beautiful girl simply enough for him? I remember every stage of falling in love in my own life, and here's the thing. The more I liked someone, the more curious I became. I wanted to know everything. Their favorite movie, their favorite dessert, their favorite song, how they celebrated birthday, Christmas, what made them laugh. The closer I became to someone, the more I wanted to understand who they really were. And eventually, of course, I'd become curious about their family. What were their parents like? What kind of relationship did they have? How did the person I loved talk about them? Because those things matter. They tell you so much about the person you are building a relationship with. But that's not what I see happening here. Instead, I see Bear enjoying Nikki's beauty, her body, and more importantly, the feeling of finally having someone like her. Someone beautiful, sexy, completely devoted to him. Even if she's also completely insane. And that's when I realized something. Bear doesn't seem to love Nikki. He loves what having Nikki does for him. He becomes so terrified of losing that feeling that he stops questioning everything happening right in front of him. And that's exactly the moment when he becomes obsessed. About halfway through the movie, I realized this story wasn't just about Nikki's behavior anymore. I actually had far more questions for Bear. What is wrong with you, man? Why don't you stop this madness? And I think the answer is actually pretty simple. When we truly want to do something, we usually do it, right? Which means that for Bear, losing Nikki, even in the form of this beautiful monster, felt worse than going back to being alone. That's obsession. The idea of losing Nikki and losing everything that came with having her created so much anxiety that he simply stopped questioning anything she did. Think about the party scene.
Any other takers?
Then Sarah tells Bear that something is seriously wrong with Nikki. And what does he say?
She hasn't really told many people this, but her dad is dying.
That's it. No concern, no real questions, just another excuse. Because accepting the truth would mean risking the relationship. And Bear simply isn't willing to do that. Yes, I genuinely believe Bear is the one who's obsessed. And to me, that's the central idea of the entire movie. That obsession doesn't let go of him until Sarah is finally murdered, right in front of his eyes.
You're supposed to kiss me.
And yes, that scene was horrifying. But this is also the moment when something finally changes inside Bear. His strongest survival instinct finally kicks in. Only now does he start looking for a way to escape the person he was so desperate to keep. Unfortunately, by then, it's already too late. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. For me, the ending with 3 deaths felt almost inevitable, but after the credits rolled, I kept thinking about Nikki. Even if she survives, what kind of life is waiting for her now? There are already 2 bodies in that room, and she's still connected to Sarah's murder. In other words, her future is pretty much doomed as well. I also find out later that the ending was originally supposed to be different. Apparently, Nikki was meant to die instead, but the filmmakers rewrote it at the last minute for some reasons. Overall, I really enjoyed this movie. The premise feels fresh and it never plays out exactly the way you expect. Inde Navarrete gave an incredible performance. And what makes it even more impressive is that she was essentially playing 2 completely different characters in one film. That takes real skill. So, huge credit to both her and the director for pulling this off. But more than anything, this movie reminded me of something I already believed. You can't force people, not into love, into sex, decisions and beliefs, not into becoming someone they are not. The healthiest choices are the ones people arrive at on their own, through experience, reflection, or simply because they are genuinely ready. Because when a decision is forced, even if it seems harmless at first, it rarely leads anywhere good. So, who is obsession really about? For my opinion, not Nikki. It's about Bear. Because sometimes the scariest kind of obsession isn't the one that possesses you, it's the one you willingly hold on to.